Let's talk about today's news. Again, there's been some turbulence. I'm just looking up the ABC website. New levies are thrown around, and the economy again is in turbulence. There's a war going on, and the fuel prices are going up again. Let's just talk about what that means for a small business. I actually don't export to the United States directly, but of course, there are ripple effects that echo around the business community. So for a small business like mine, this actually has effects. So today I just want to talk about what that means for me and the solutions that I've come up with. So step number one, I actually looked at all the directions in which my money flows. So my small business is not just this space by itself, it's tied into a bigger network of global online businesses like my emails, my website, and lots of other services. So I did a good check and looked at which directions my money went. And number one, I've stopped paying Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook ads. I did the math, it didn't work out. Over time, I've spent more money on ads than I made from it, so I'm cutting this. In addition, I also looked at other services and looked if I had any double ups. And pretty quickly I realized that I was paying quite a bit for my website with my previous provider. And I actually had another service that I needed for email services that actually had a built-in website builder. At first it looked like it wasn't very capable, but I wrapped my head around it and decided that actually it had everything I needed to build the studio website. So I actually rebuilt it and launched it under mixartist.studio. And that means I could now cancel my old account, which cost me a lot of money for features that I actually didn't need. So I'm not only looking at my online services at the cost and the features they offer, but there's a third thing that today is quite important to me. I look at where they're based, what their involvement is in the geopolitical turbulences that we're seeing these days, and I quite deliberately look at possibilities that have the right price and features for me, but I also look at suppliers from areas that I believe will give us some stability over the years. So I'm sort of shifting my businesses around. And of course, I want to go local wherever I can. So while my website actually now went from the old server to a European one, I've also looked at other services. And one of the things that I've always been dealing with is DNS servers and all of the jargon that goes along with. Look, as a sound engineer, give me patch codes and consoles, I understand that. DNS stuff, wow, that is complicated and way above my head. So in the past, I've been going with a very big renowned brand. There are lots of different options. And then I looked around and actually realized that my friend Ray, who's based in Suffolk Park, she actually offered the same service for about the same price. So I now canceled my international supplier and I shuffled that around to a local who I can literally talk to and pick up the phone. And so far, it's been fantastic. I don't need to do any of that stuff that I actually don't understand myself. Instead, I just send an email, tell her what I need, and she does it and gets back to me with a big thumbs up. And she can even point out problems that I'm going to run into that I don't even know quite yet. So she can foresee things that I don't see, and that's an extra safety net. And most importantly, I keep it local and support a friend. So if you want to do the same thing, check out Ray Stanton. Her website is accurateexpressions.com. She's local. She's a personal friend of mine, so I might be biased, but I warmly recommend her services. Another thing where I changed my business structure just recently is bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is one of those business things that nobody really enjoys, but we all have to do it. And to get it done effectively, we need some kind of a service. Xero is very popular. And I tried a couple. I went with QuickBooks for many years. And it never really grew on me that well, I have to admit. Eventually I figured it out. And just as I had it, they changed the interface and nothing worked for me anymore. So I pulled my hair out and now try to relearn a service that I then realized lacked a couple of features that I actually do want now that I also open up my MixArtist Academy website. So I would have had to upgrade to a higher tier. So again, I looked around and spoke to my friend Laurie. Laurie is a local, and he just developed a tool called bookkeeps.com. Again, the URL is underneath. It's a startup. It's right at the beginning. However, it was cheaper than my QuickBooks account. It also had features that QuickBooks didn't have. And most importantly, when I found something that didn't work for me, I sent him a message. He texted me back within 2 hours, said, I'm on it. And the next morning there was an update. It is a startup, and there might be a couple of things that still need ironing out, but gee, do I love his services. And guess what? Laurie is a local. So this is what I want to do for the next year. I really want to look at how I spend my money and who do I rely on for services, and wherever possible, I want to go local and avoid the big international players, especially from countries that unrest in the world, because in the end, as a business owner, what we need is stability more than anything. So hopefully this will help me to stabilize my business. If you took something out of it, well, please share this video. I really appreciate if you could also leave some comments underneath if you know of anybody else who offers local services that help me to abolish one of the big international players. That's my mission. Keep it local. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.